fan in your mirror though. You don't
Yeah.
want
Oh, I don't. Wait, I don't want that. No. They're looking in the mirror. It's okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. I am so sorry that I took my time. I was doing something and I forgot that you guys were here. I'm trying to adjust my iPad. I've adjusted the light system. You can see my beard and stuff. Uh, well, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Welcome to Alchemy Food Network, Dr. G's channel, where I am. Hi, Niethe. I am riding off her platform. Okay. I know last week we were talking about ascension. And I was explaining to you that ascension has a lot to do with to reach ascension. It's almost like if you meditate every single day, if you know how to meditate and you meditate, I'm talking about with the God consciousness, meaning not just sitting down, closing your eyes and just thinking about nothing, but closing your eyes and trying to connect to the vibration that is a vibration that can make you shut down where you don't hear anything. Okay, that's the God vibration, to be able to control not hearing anything, but at a dime of a hat, meaning you can be in the most busiest place and you're able to just like close your eyes and just keep them closed, and you start to hear nothing. You're in a crowded room and you hear nothing. You're just listening to whatever it is that you're saying in your mind, whatever it is, whether it be walking, if you want to do a walking meditation, or if you're doing talking, or you're doing breathing, or you're doing God, or whatever it is that you're doing, and you keep your mind as still as it can. Now, as humans, it's kind of difficult for us to keep ourselves. I want to say to keep. It's kind of hard for us to keep ourselves focused for more than 2 minutes. So my suggestion to you is, why don't you try like something like biofeedback? I mean, it's sounds that bring your brain, that brings both sides of your brains together, and 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 tries to unify it together. And that's what a lot of the biofeedback does, and that's what you need to do. Because if one side of the brain, excuse me, and the other side of the brain are thinking exactly, they're moving in the same speed. What happens is that then everything becomes in unison, and that is also, you know, the godlike way, so that you're able to see more and understand more, which was what we were talking about last week. So, ascension is that. Ascension is being able to, I'm not even going to say being able to do meditation, no, just being able to. In other words, if you say, I'm going to do this, and your mind is ready, you will do what you said that you were going to do because your mind is ready. But if you don't do it and you just keep procrastinating, it means that your mind, both parts of the mind, are not focused. You're only focused on the one thing. You're not focused on everything. So you say something to yourself that has to be completed. Complete it. completed, because a lot of us use the law of attraction, and then we realize that nothing is happening. So what we don't realize is that you can't use the law of attraction if you yourself are not put together. I'm sorry. You can use the law of attraction to attract, but if you're messed up, you're not going to attract anything. You're going to attract bullshit. That's all you're going to attract. You're not going to attract the energy which, I believe that we all deserve. So learn how to keep your mind in perspective. Try to keep everything aligned. Try to keep everything without moving. And you'll start to see that these things that you want can come about. There's a lot of things that are changing, a lot of things that are moving. There's a lot of things that are possible. But sometimes we have problems. And although we can meditate to remove the negativity, our brains cannot. Our brains will still hold whatever it is that it's thinking about, and it won't let it go. Hola, Colaris. So if you're going to do something, like I said, if you want to focus, remember, the brain cannot stay still for more than 2 minutes, and the brain gets scattered. Some Buddhists believe that it's bad, but a lot of Buddhists believe that it's okay for the mind to get scattered and go and stray and then come back. And as long as you bring it back to breathing, you're fine. You don't really have anything wrong, or there's nothing that will create any type of chaos. Just remember that some people work with the right side of the brain, others work with the left side of the brain. They say the more artistic people work with the left side of the brain, and the more people that deal with like science and numbers and like all kinds of things that have to do with paperwork and like engineers and stuff, they work with the right side of the brain. So it's not a matter of which side, it's just a matter of connecting both sides together, because we need to do that. Eventually, everything will be able to be manifested only if you can control both sides. Hey, Sadia. Good evening, everyone. So that was part of what we were talking about last week. Now, part of that is the ascension. The ascension. To me, I kind of believe in do what you say what you mean. And for most of the time, if you say what you mean and you do as you say, you're programming your mind to keep moving forward. Because the key is to protect the mind, to keep the mind from wandering, to keep the mind focused. I'm not saying you have to keep one thing focused in your mind 24 hours a day and say, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the law of attraction is more than that. It's more than just thinking about something. It's more than just chanting something. It's more than, no, because you don't have to think about something 24 hours a day, 5 times a day. Because the law of attraction, once you put it out there, it's already out there. It's just a matter of keeping your mind from allowing something else to crowd it, so that you don't have it in your mind. You don't have to repeat it every day, but to keep it in your mind, it's very important that you keep it in your mind. That's the way I look at ascension. But I also believe that ascension comes with praying. There are people who have a connection with spirit that cannot read. But the key with them dealing with spirit is that they speak to spirit on a regular basis. They talk to spirit. They are connected to spirit. They love spirit. And they love the Lord. There are people like me that wake up every morning and have to pray and have to wake up in the morning and at whatever time. I'm not going to say in the morning because I'll be lying to you. If you think that I get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, I will be lying. There are people like me, though, that wake up at a certain time. I want to say about 10, 11 o'clock. When I have nothing to do, maybe 12. And the first thing I do is I make coffee. Anytime I wake up, I make coffee. And the first cup of coffee I pour is for my ancestors. And then the second cup of coffee I pour is for my altar. And the third cup of coffee that I pour is mine. Before me, they come first. I don't do it because I want a prize. I don't do it because I feel that I deserve this or I deserve that. What do we really deserve? I do it because I love the Lord and because I love the fact that he made me the way that I am, that he made me to have gifts, that he made me powerful enough within myself to be able to heal thyself, to connect to people who are just as spiritual as me, and we can talk about things and do things and just live happy. So it's a matter of making changes. I'm trying to word it the right way, that's why I'm quiet. It's about making changes to the brain without having to use anything except your emotion. It's like saying, Lord, forgive me for this, or Lord, forgive me for that, or I live in gratitude because of this, or I live in gratitude because of that. It doesn't take but a minute, you know. The Ho'oponopono, I think it comes to the closest that I believe to ascension of God, and I say it, you know, quite a few times a day, which is, you know, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. What more simple prayer can you say to God every morning, to say to the universe every morning, than I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Mine shift because, guys, I'm on my iPad and I'm trying to figure out, like, my head is like right over here, like in this one little section, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why when I go this way, my head, like, I don't know, but when I'm like here, I can see you better. So if you see my eyes wander that way, it's only because my kitchen is there. So and I'm trying something new. I have a light that is behind me, so I'm trying something new, and I just hope that it continues to be this way. That's one. Two, I will find different locations within my house and try it out first. I know Dr. T said we should try it out. We tried something on. I said that it worked, but what I should have done was I should have tried it with her before I even started. So that way she could have given me direction and which way to move. Anyway, not trying to dodge anybody. I just want to finish this. So, guys, listen, you know, instead of worrying so much about ascension, worry about being a kind person. Worry about being nice, being kind to one another. Not looking at the flaws of other people or creating a problem or creating gossip about other people. Just focus on yourself. Do well and stop looking at whatever else other people are doing. You know, because one of the things that 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 is about God. It's about loving one another. It's about caring about one another. It's about understanding one another. It's about, you being one with the universe, God, your spirits, angels, and guides, and the people that are around you. Granted, I am not, and I always said it, I'm not a forgiving person, but sometimes I'm able to let go of things and not ever bother again. I can talk to the person and it won't affect me, even though the person hurt me, only because I truly love the person and I don't want the person to be hurt. So therefore I can kind of like just let go of things, and I let go and I won't think about it anymore. So I don't know if that's forgiveness or what, but I just know that sometimes I can just do that. I can just bow gently and walk away and not bother and not treat the person differently, just pretend that it didn't happen. And not often people get a pass like that, but there are people who get a pass because, caring about them is part of Ascension. I mean, some people want to know about Ascension. Thank you. Do I sound clear too? Yeah, I agree with you, Sadi. Sometimes it's hard to let go, and then sometimes it's not hard to let go. But ultimately, you have to find within your heart and your mind, because it's not about your heart as much as it is your mind. The mind is very powerful. The mind is so powerful that if it focuses on negative things, it can destroy as well as it can provide. But the mind can also destroy you. So it's a thing that it's a struggle, because I have problems with that struggle sometimes, where people hurt me so much that it's on my mind and I'll talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. But I've learned I've learned since not to talk about things that bother me so much. I just have learned to let go of that and realize this person is not going to change. I have to be the bigger person and change. So I do. So I do. And when I change, then things get better. Things don't get worse, they get better. And they start to shift in different directions. So that to me is part of Ascension. And I think that every time that we do good to other people, every time we say good things to other people, every time we remember who we are, and we know that we're powerful human beings within ourselves, makes us ascend. Because I'm sure that one of the things that God hates is to know that He created a superior race, and this superior race feels like caca, like nothing is moving and nothing is happening. And I think that is important for us to feel so good about ourselves, where we don't have to think of anything negative. All we have to think about is knowing that we have moved forward in a lot of great things. And I think that's important. I think that it's something that we really need to focus on. We need to focus on the positive, not on the negative. We need to keep ourselves focused on things that are good, and we need to focus on what's important to us. The more angrier we get, the more things shift. The more angrier we get, the more problems we have. The angrier we get, the less we progress. Yes, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to say, this person pissed me off because of this and this. But the key is, you don't live it. Don't live it. Don't mourn forever. There are people who mourn forever. Why? You're mourning forever for what? The person is dead. Why would the person want you to mourn them forever? And the people that ask you, this is one thing, the people that ask you when they're dying and they say, well, I want you to take care of your siblings for me, that's very selfish of them. It really is. And, you know, to put that burden on one human being because they left and they want you to take care of their child, your sibling, that to me is a no-no. I can't hold someone in my arms and they're telling me I'm leaving, but please take care of this person. I'm like, no, please leave, but I'm not taking care of anybody. Nobody. I'm taking care of me, my family. I'm not taking care of your family. So, you know, you have to maintain the same focus on the dead as you do with the living. You can't allow a person who's dying dictate what your future is going to be for you when they're not going to be around. You can't do that. You can't. You know, just like in my personal case, it hasn't happened to me, and I'm not looking for my mom to die anytime soon. But just like me, if I mean, altogether there's 5 of us, right? Don't leave me in charge of all the money and then expect me to be the one to equally divide money to my siblings, and I might have never spoken to my siblings, and then you want me to automatically share. No, don't leave it to me because I will spend it all. I won't give them shit. So you have a will, make sure, and you have children, you make sure that you have your lawyer printed up and your lawyer state, this goes to this child, this goes to this child, this goes to this child, this goes to this child. Simple as that. Because there's too many complications when it comes to that. When it comes to siblings fighting over money, and then every time a parent dies, automatically they come out of the woodwork and they're like, oh, well, you know, mommy and I miss her and da da da. How much did she leave? How much did she leave me? That's kind of tacky. So, like I said, you know, the reason I'm mentioning this is we're coming so close with people destroying each other that there's been a lot of shows about, you know, young people, siblings fighting with each other over money that, you know, or property that the family left, and they leave it to one sibling whom everybody loved, and the minute that they leave the money to that person takes their time to divide it the right way, she gets held for it, and then that kindness that you had towards that sibling is gone because of money. So I just look at people and I'm like, I wouldn't give them shit. I wouldn't. If it's not in anybody's name except mine, I wouldn't divide it. You know why? Because I would, as long as they don't bother me. But the minute they start coming around and bothering me, oh, well, belongs to you, I will not give you shit. Just because I try to follow the ways of Ascension, I try to follow the ways of Buddha. I always said this. I'm not Buddha. I'm not God. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not Muhammad. I'm none of those people. Not. I am Ori Vanderview, and I look at things in a very different way. When I was Osbert Merced and aka Tony, I did things very differently as well. And people looked at me, and people had always something to say. And I always cared about what people had to say. Even though I said I didn't, I cared about what people had to say. I cared about how people treated me. I cared about the comments that people made. But now, honestly, it's been quite a few years. I've always been outspoken. But that internal negativity that I had within myself, that I cared about what people thought about me, that's gone. I don't feel that anymore. I don't care what people have to say. I don't care the comments that people say or the comments that people are wanting to say. I want you to excuse me for a minute because I want to talk you through the meditation, but I left my phone. Give me 1 second, guys. I left my phone in the room. Okay, I'm here. Not like I disappeared, but I didn't leave my phone. Okay, now Cecily was right. Dr. D was right. You know something about you. The ceiling fan was. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay, that's better. So anyway, I'm gonna find a meditation, something in meditating. I'm gonna find something that is soothing. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna find something that is soothing so that everything can work out fine. Hold on 1 second. So anyway, like I said about Ascension, you know, with Ascension, sometimes it's whatever works. So sometimes we have to leave things as they are, and sometimes we have to move things in a different way. So it's a matter of what it is that you're doing and how it is that you're doing, how it is that you want to do it or you're doing it. So the best way, the best thing to do so best thing to do is focus on the things that make you happy, not focus on the things that make you unhappy. And downpour, raindrop. Hold on a second, I'm trying to figure something out. In this second, guys, I'm trying to see how long this lasts. It doesn't last long. Okay. So anyway, the reason I'm asking this question, the reason I'm saying this to you is because someone asked about Ascension. The only thing that I can think about Ascension is that. The only thing I can think about is that. And I don't believe that there's anything in particular. Hold on. Anything in particular that hold on a second. Different definitions of shame. Hold on a second. Okay. We're going to go into the meditation. You know why? Because it's important that we keep ourselves focused. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about what we were talking about. I want you to think about the things that you need to do within yourself to heal you. Not to heal others, but to heal you. Especially the part that lives inside of you that sometimes may cause chaos in your life, which is holding on to pain that you don't need to hold on to. You know, I know we were talking also about addictions, but Addiction is a very it's a very long show when it comes to addiction, because addiction and this and ascension are two different things. But with ascension, like I said, you keep focused and try to be the best person you can be, and you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so now I'm putting this on. Well, it's on. So I want you guys to take a deep breath, and I want you to release it slowly. I want you to take another deep breath and release it slowly. And I want you to take another deep breath. And I want you to release it slowly. I want you to focus on the breathing in and the breathing out. And even if you can't move, you have to keep yourself focused in the breathing in and the breathing out. And keep yourself within this whole realm of keeping yourself focused. So by you listening to these sounds, just like the rain does, like I said the last time, just like rain cleans everything. Imagine you being outside. Some people used to love to walk in the rain. Some people like to sit in the rain. Some people like to sit on their porches and just look and listen to the rain. So whichever way makes you feel comfortable, just sit, focus, and imagine yourself just being clean, allowing the water to clean up, allowing the water to get rid of all those negative things that are in your head, releasing all that toxicity that is in your head, and removing all that is bothering you, all that is on your mind, and up in your heart, so that the rain will wash your heart from sadness, from pain, from sorrow, and allow it to let all the negative be washed with the rain. All the thoughts of suicide, the thoughts of pain, the thoughts of confusion, the thoughts of uncertainty, the thoughts that you get when you feel that your ideas need to be co-signed. All of those things that confuse you, let the rain wash it away. And just envision yourself getting wet and letting the water just come through your body on a heavy rain. You just hold on to that for as long as you can. Take a deep breath. Remember, your mind wanders. It's okay to let it wander. The mind can only focus on one thing at a time and stay in focus for minutes at a time. It's practice. For you can learn how to master longer. And you can learn to be in the world but not of it. But in the beginning, it is okay to meditate, to put on music or sound that can help you through. And using water, because water is one of the most powerful elements there are. And the same way that it can create beautiful things, water can also destroy. And that is why I want you to focus your mind on the pain and the sorrow, and think of all the ugliness and all the things that you've been holding on to. And open your heart and release all those things that are coming to you, so that you're able to move forward without feeling like you're being stuck. People will only do to you what you will allow them to, but so will society. So it's not a big deal of what people think of you or how they think of you. I just want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to enjoy yourself, to enjoy the things that are causing you happiness, to enjoy the things that you can say today, I'm very happy, and forget about those things from yesterday that you can say that are horrible or something. Think about that and release that. The parents who hate their children because their children are obnoxious. Let that go. The children will hate the parents because they believe the parents are extra or they don't understand the parents. Let it go. There are many things that are happening in the world that are much more important, and we're missing it because we're too focused on insignificant things. So focus on yourself, on the happiness that you're feeling, that you feel, or that you're about to feel. The minute you open yourself up to your feelings and allow the rain to wash all them away. Remember to breathe in, to breathe out, and to breathe in, and to breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Remember, if the shoe doesn't fit, get rid of it. If you're in a situation that you know is not good and it's toxic, get rid of it. If you're in a relationship where they belittle you because you're kind, walk away. Because any relationship that you're in, the person does not treat you the way they used to be treated, then you should not treat it. Love should never hurt. Love should be filled with joy. If you're in a relationship where joy hurts, happiness hurts, love hurts, then you're not in a good relationship. You need to walk away. Remember that. So allow the rain to give you strength, because the rain also gives you strength. Allow the brain to envision the water, so that it can clear your brain, and you're able to focus on the things that are important. And that those things that are causing you to become stagnant, that are causing you to just stay still, allow the rain and the universe to release it. so that you no longer have to think about those things. Take a deep breath, guys. And now open your eyes. It is 9:55, and I just want you guys to remember what it is about. It is not about disliking something, disliking another. This is about loving yourself, being good to yourself, honoring yourself, not caring what other people think every time you do something and you create a new life for yourself because you couldn't be happy in the past one. It doesn't matter. Don't ever think that you failed because you're looking for your happiness. Don't think that way. Think and use the concept that you're trying to do God's work, but you're trying to look for the light that lives within you. And if that light, if you're able to ignite that light that lives within you, then you can have anything you want. But if you are too busy complaining about the fact that that light inside of you does not light up, then that becomes a bigger problem. So the key is not to create and make something a problem. The key is to make something better than it was. I don't know if you guys get it, but we're going to go to commercial now. Namaste. I love you. Love and light, peace and harmony. I will speak to you on Monday. I'm sorry I was like so quick, but everything just hit me at one time, and I was working on all this stuff. But I promise I will be better prepared on Monday because I have something special for you guys to do, an exercise that I want you guys to do that will be very helpful because there are too many things happening right now around us, and I want you guys to all participate in it and be able to see in your mind's eyes what is happening around us. Okay? So Dr. D is going to go to commercial, and I am out of here. I will speak to you next week. If any questions, feel free to call me. You got my number. Hello, Dr. D, commercial? I don't know why we're not going into commercial, but until we are, we have to just wait on stuff. What I can say to you all is that you're amazing people, and if anybody hasn't told you that, then they're idiots. But you guys are steps of communication with different beings in the universe. Well, there's some things that have been written to me, and I'm looking at it right now. Some people wanted to talk about spiritual awareness. Some people wanted to talk about the steps to communicating with different beings in the universe and protect it from dark forces. That is a subject for another day. I didn't see this, but we really have to focus on the things that we want. I think this is wonderful because it's two things. Actually, there's three things. Because Sadia talked to me about something that her boyfriend, yes, her boyfriend, talked to me about that he wanted to talk about. So we have shows coming up, and I'm so happy that people are writing in their opinions, because it's very important that you do that. It's very important that each and every single one of us know. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. People may think sometimes that if you have dreams or you have thoughts or you have meditations where money is falling on you or money is falling, it doesn't mean anything bad. There's nothing really bad about money. It's the way that people use it or the way that people talk about money that becomes bad. So keep yourself focused on whatever it is you want to manifest, and manifest in your mind those things that you need and you want. Because remember, by you wanting and needing these things, it's like speaking, and to speak is to create. So once you speak it out there, you put it out there, you've created it. So understand that the energy is going to come no matter what. The energy is going to come. It's going to how do I say, it's going to make you feel like you are invincible. So don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad. Just know that everything is going to work at its time frame. Okay. Well, it says that you know we are still live. So it says it at 47 seconds before I guess it shuts off at 48. Well, I guess it's going up. So we will see, unless it's 48 minutes that I've been on. Anyway, whatever it is, I just think that it's important that we do revisit that, and we understand that there are a lot of things that are important, and we need to focus on the things that are important, because no matter what goes on, these changes are important. Okay, well, I text her. I know she's been very busy, so I hope that we either go on commercial or we log out. Either way,